Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. C, host of the Science Hub podcast. Today, we will be talking about melanin in our skin. So, I would like to introduce our co-host, Robert Shell. How are you doing, Robert Shell? Can you introduce yourself here?
I'm pretty good. I'm a UV radiation expert, and so I have bought a bottle of Banana Boat sunscreen.
Oh, okay.
Because I heard you got a sunburn recently.
Yes, I did. Recently, I went to Florida because I wanted to go visit my family. And when I was out there, I was on the beaches, right, enjoying. I was surfing, doing all that. And I noticed once, like a day later, that my skin was red. And I was like, oh, great, sunburn. But then I got a question to myself. I'm like, well, why am I getting this sunburn? Is it because, I was hoping that you could explain that for me today.
Alright, Mr. C. It all starts around melanin. Melanin is a amino acid that determines the pigmentation of our skin. This pigmentation protects our skin and bodies from UV radiation. The reason...
Wait, I'll stop you right there. Why is UV radiation bad for our skin? Does it hurt you? Physically?
So UV radiation is comprised of chemicals and vitamin D and everything that the sun can resource us with. So it's bad for our skin since if our pigmentation or the amino acid cannot protect our skin, it can develop skin cancer or what you have, sunburn.
Ooh, okay.
The reason why you were so affected by the UV radiation in Florida is because Florida is closer to the equator, which is the furthest point from two combined icy poles and the closest point on Earth to the sun at the regulated moment. You're more vulnerable between the hours of 10 to 3 because that's when our part of the tilt is closest to the sun, and so the UV radiation dulls less since it is closer and more magnified to that position, and because of this it has a higher concentration to your skin, and your melanin is not prepared for that as it has yet to adapt, which we won't talk about right now, but maybe in a later time of this episode.
Whoa, Robbie.
Whoa.
You're getting pretty ahead of yourself here, so I'm gonna stop you right there. But first, before we continue, we must have a quick word from our sponsor, Banana Boat Sunscreen. We need this sponsorship because we need to get paid. We are not getting paid anywhere else. We are being held here against our will. Please, somebody help us.
And poor.
Have you ever been to the beach like this guy?
Me?
Yeah, you. This guy's cells are about to die.
What?
Yep. This dude's cells are about to die and get sunburned.
What if I don't want to get sunburned, dude?
Well, you should have been more like this dude.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay, but why me?
This guy here uses Banana Boat sunscreen. Banana Boat sunscreen is the best on the market. Banana Boat protects against UV radiation so that your cells don't die and you get less sunburn and more fun in the sun. When you're out in the sun, bad UV radiation gets to your skin and we will kill your skin cells, making sunburn. So if you don't want to be like this guy who's sunburned, use Banana Boat. If you do use it, your skin will be nice and clean and fresh, and it won't be burned.
Whoa, dude, that's deep. I should start using Banana Boat sunscreen like I always stereotypically do. Well, I would say that is quite an interesting ad if I do say so myself. But thank you, Banana Boat, for sponsoring today's episode, because without them, we would not be able to afford this beautiful studio we have today. Now, back to what you were saying earlier, Robert. You were talking about something about adaptation. Can you go deeper on that for me?
Yes. So after we talk about melanin, the next step to this cycle would be the adaptation to the sun. Although I'm not an expert on it, our good friend
Jaden Alvarado will be joining us on call today to explain how adaptation affects our skin. Alright, hello Jaden, can you hear us alright?
Yep, loud and clear, boss man.
Perfect, and we hear you good here as well. Now, I I hear that you are an adaptation expert, correct?
Yes, I am. I got my master's degree in environmental science at Walmart University. I have been stationed with the research team for the last 6 years in Myanmar to study skin color. We were told this is a 2-year exposition, but we haven't heard anything since that, and we are wondering if anyone's gonna pick us up anytime soon. Since this is my last 5% on my phone, and my team told me to call for help, but I thought this was more important because science.
Well, I hope you get back home soon. Now, to more important things. The question we have for you is, how does adaptation affect skin color?
Good question. Adaptation is a long and tedious process, though it is an important one. Adaptation to UV radiation affects primarily one's skin tone and makes the pigmentation darker. The skin tone slowly darkens, or as many people refer to it as tanning. To block the high levels of UV radiation to skin, since they are changing accordingly to UV radiation, when you receive less of it, the process reverts and the skin becomes light. Think of it as exercising in muscles.
Thank you for the detailed YapFest response. I hope that you have a great rest of your time in Myanmar.
Now, thank you for having me, and one more thing before I go. I just want to say... Oh shit! Run! Get down! It's a vehicle!
Well, that was a quite interesting call from Jaden Alvarado we had there.
Indeed.
Well, that was not quite the call I was expecting from Jaden. I was expecting more of a wholesome call, because I knew that he was in Myanmar, but I did not know that he's been trapped there for 4 years and that he doesn't have help. If you guys know anyone in Myanmar, you might want to call for help for him. I don't know what he's on, but we pray for him. Alright. Now, Robbie, you said that... Do you know anything about natural selection?
Well, before Jaden went to Myanmar, he told me a little bit about it. So after the adaptation process, those who do not fit the proper adaptations or like cross over their genetics or mutation, they probably will be attacked by the predators since the food is more scarce. They gotta get a jump on it, you know? But those who did properly adapt will be able to pass on their superior genes. This is what natural selection is all about. It's survival of the fittest, essentially.
Well, you're not very fit, I can see from that.
That was not very nice. Me! Big 5-4.
Well, it seems to me that right now we just had a magnitude 10 earthquake that just struck this very room after you just slugged off. Now, we are having some difficulties right now, so we need to go ahead and add another banana.
Hey guys, Jack Bauer here, professional cameraman of Science Hub. Today we have a sponsor from Banana Boat Sunscreen. So, because there are different types of surfers about it, right? There's different types of selection. Talking about natural selection. So first up, we got the wakeboarder type of selection, where it's directional. They either go to the right or they left. They either all on the right side or all on the left side, if you catch my drift. Next up, we got stabilizing, which are like our normal surfers. They're riding, and then they hit the big wave in the middle and come back down. Like whoosh. So the last type, we got the paddleboarders with the paddles and boards, you know how it goes. And this is called disruptive. Disruptive selectioning? What's that about? So, you know how those surfers ride the waves up and down? It's the opposite of that. They ride the waves up, down, up, down. They're like the extremely crazy ones, my guy. Yeah, so that's the different types of selections. So, once again, thanks to our sponsor, Banana Boat Sunscreen. Use it all the time. So don't forget, we got the wakeboarders, directional selection, the surfboarders, stabilizing selection, and the paddleboarders, which is disruptive selection. That's all. Back to the video. V5-4-1.
Well, welcome back, Robbie. Well, as you can see, he is finally done with his hangry spurs. I think we need to talk right now. I'm sorry. we can get back to your food later. But now that you're done being hangry, can you think you can give us a quick conclusion on everything we learned today?
Alright, so first we started off with melanin and why Jack had gotten his sunburn in the first place, since UV radiation is stronger at the equator. Then we moved on to adaptation, where people changed to the environment surrounding them so they could have a better lifestyle. Then we changed to natural selection, which, as I had previously said, is just survival of the fittest. Anything else to add?
Well, I actually don't think I do have anything else to cover, Robbie. I think that you covered everything for us. So, thank you guys for watching today's episode of...
Well, a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word, well, a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word, well, a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word, well, a bird, bird, bird. But bird's a word of Brian. Don't you know about the bird? Well, Peter's gonna tell you about the bird. Well, a bird, bird. But bird's a word, well, a bird. Surfing.